Hi everyone. Today is a video on how bad were guitars or cheap guitars or affordable guitars in the 90s. And what I have here is this specimen is an Degas strat copy that I purchased in 1991. And actually I have still have the receipt for it, and I'll switch over to a view now of that receipt. So yeah, this guitar is 30, or I've had this for 30 years. So I'll give you my thoughts on this. You can come to your own conclusion of how good or bad this is. I guess I'll go from head to toe or head to body and outline all the peculiarities of this guitar. First off, I guess the headstock and the neck. I'm assuming this is maple, and I'm assuming this is some kind of rosewood or some kind of derivative or reasonable hand-drawn facsimile thereof of rosewood. Feels okay. This is a multi-piece neck, but not in the same sense that you get from Ibanez, where there's multiple strips that are glued together for strength and stability. The neck is just one long piece till about here, and then you have three other pieces that are glued together and then glued to the neck to form the entire neck and headstock of the body, which gives you four pieces. And I guess I'll give you a close-up of that now so we can count the pieces together. Yeah, that's a four-piece neck. Something else that's interesting with this headstock is it's actually starting to curve. So if I were to hold it here, and it is kind of tilted back, but the headstock itself, because of the string tension, is actually starting to curve forward. And I'm going to try and show you that with a close-up with a ruler, so you can kind of see the impact of that over the years of what string tension has done to this headstock. So hopefully you can see that how the headstock is bending. Okay, now the tuning machines I would say are terrible. There's a lot of slop in them. When you start to release tension, there's a lot of play, and then once you start to get towards pitch, they bind. So needless to say, we don't get much good tuning stability out of them. The nut is, I'm assuming it's plastic. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's plastic, and it's funny enough, the shape of it is, I would say, it's something more analogous to a Gibson type, because it has kind of a curve on the outside as opposed to the Fender style, which this guitar is attempting to mimic, is more of a little rectangular block. So I'll attempt to show you a close-up of that now. All right, so that's the nut. So I described already the fretboard, the neck, the back of the neck. It's kind of a gloss neck. The profile, I don't know, C shape, I guess. Actually, I find it kind of comfortable. It's pretty nice. The frets are really low. I'll see if I can get a measurement and put it in the video here. And the fretwork is, I'll say, very inconsistent. Again, I'll see if I can shoot another angle where we go do a close-up of what it looks like. But the widths of the frets are not cut to the proper length. I wonder if someone's just haphazardly just started clipping them, and installed them. And in fact, I don't know, one of them, I think it's actually broken, but the end was filed. I'll show you that. So it's about 1 mil or 2 mil too short. So when you try to, do some bends in that, it'll actually the string will get caught. Actually, something I didn't realize back in the day. After looking at it, it's like, oh my God, this is brutal. So now going to the body, first thing you'll see here is this Guitar Wizard sticker, something I put on. It's actually from an ancient pack of D'Addario stickers. So back in the day in the 90s, D'Addario used to give you stickers. So I decided to put that on there. Of course, I snipped out the logo because I guess I consider myself a Guitar Wizard back in the day. The body, and I don't know, again, I'll try to do a close-up here, is made of the fantastic tone wood of plywood. So I'll show you here, maybe perhaps you can see the layers. Yeah, so the made of plywood, so it makes it quite light. The pickups are actually, one thing you'll notice before I go any further is you see how it's white here, and actually around the neck it's also white. Back in the day when this thing was new, there was like some kind of a fuzz or something growing in this guitar body, and I found it quite troublesome, and I kept wiping it off and spraying it with rubbing alcohol and stuff like that, and it just kept coming back. I don't know what it was. So I don't know if it was moisture or something. So I tried to find something to seal it, and the best thing I could think of back in the day was I guess bathroom grade water resistant paint. So what I did was I just bought the little tin of it, painted the inside or the back of the cavity here, painted the routs and also the neck cavity, and to seal up all the open pores there, and actually resulted in a bit of a chip. And I'll see if I can give you a close-up of that when I try to put it back together. Solved that problem, but now I got the inside of the body here is white, or a bathroom paint white. Going to the pickups. Actually, the pickups sound okay. I didn't appreciate them back in the day, but after cleaning this guitar up a couple of years ago and getting up and running again, actually I kind of liked it. The one thing I realize now, which I didn't realize before, is that they were microphonic. And of course, back in the 90s, we were into rock and metal, and around the time that Enter Sandman hit the scene. So we'd be jamming in my parents' basement to Enter Sandman. I had my Fender Rad amp cranked, and when the song was done, I just tried to mute the strings, and there was this god-awful howl, and I just couldn't figure out why it was being produced. And then it wasn't until much later, or actually fairly recently, that I realized, oh, the pickups are actually microphonic because they're not potted. A friend of mine recommended that perhaps hot glue could be used to pot them, which I tried, and I don't think it did a very good job, and I didn't totally ruin these pickups, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend hot glue for potting pickups. Not a good idea. The switch is the switch. I replaced the pot on this guy here. Of course, the stem was too long, too lazy to cut it down. And the bridge is also interesting too. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the bridge off the body to give you a closer look as to what it looks like. And in particular, the sustain block. And I use the term block extremely loosely. And again, something that I didn't pay much attention to back in the day. And now watching all these YouTube videos the last couple of years, having gotten back into guitar, and people going gaga over brass sustain blocks and the thickness and the mass and whether it's magnetic or not and all that kind of stuff. And I look at what this guitar had, I was like, oh my God. Thank God they don't make them like this anymore. Yeah, so I'm going to go into a bit of a playing demo here so you can hear what this guy sounds like. So that's the playing demo, and thanks for watching this video. Hope you were entertained. I hope you learned something. And if you ever see one of these Degas guitars in a pawn shop and you're wondering, is this a classic that might be worth something? I don't think so. You know, pick it up, try it. This one isn't particularly good. The only reason why I really have it is sentimental value. It was my first guitar, and I still love it, but I just keep it in a case now, and I don't really play it anymore because I have other guitars that I prefer to play. Those guys back there, and hopefully in a video soon you'll be able to see those. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.